welcome back to another Accidentally Intentional podcast. And in this episode, I'm really excited about it because we're going to be talking about the relationship with our dreams. Now, if you listen to this podcast, you know that ultimately our goal is to destroy loneliness by building rich relationships. And I think dreams are a really big part of building rich relationships because dreams give you hope. Dreams give you a way to connect with other people. And so on the podcast today, we have Fraser Grut, who is on a mission to film 10,000 dreams from people around the world. He has a fascinating story. You're going to hear about it in a second, but he has filmed dreams of Mila Kunis, T-Pain, Ashton Kutcher, Terry Crews, and many more people that aren't famous because everyone's dreams are important. So, Fraser, welcome to the show.
So, what an intro.
Fraser, let's start with the basics, right?
Hit me.
This episode's going to be for people who want to learn to dream again, how to be that friend that can encourage dreams and more. But we need to start with how your dream of filming 10,000 dreams came to be. Tell us what happened.
Okay, so this was not part of the plan at all. 2016 at a small cafe in Auckland, New Zealand. I'm meeting with a mate and he's about to go to America for 6 months. So I encourage him to do something every single day whilst he's in America. And we come up with ideas and I go, bro, every day you should ask someone what their favorite ice cream flavor is. And then we quickly realized that was so lame. And then somehow it just transitioned into you should ask someone every day what their dream in life is. And I don't know what happened, but it kind of flipped back on me. And then we made a bet that I would film someone saying their dream every day for 1 year. And then it kind of escalated into 10,000 days. And it kind of became a lifetime mission. And I'm now 2,052 dreams in. So I've done it for 8 years. And I've probably got like 20, 30 years left. It's wild.
Amazing. That's amazing. So I love this story right here because people may or may not know my story. And the reason why I started this podcast is because in college, I had a bestie breakup, you know, where it's like, we are no longer friends anymore. And I found myself having no friends. And so I was on a mission and created a New Year's resolution for myself to eat a meal with someone different every single day and get to know their story.
Go.
And the question that I loved asking people was, what's your biggest passion? So I feel like you and I are on the same wavelength with this. Yes.
How long did you go?
2.5 years. So I ended up getting over 250 meal dates with 250 different people on the college campus.
Oh my gosh. You must have
been
incredible. Ridiculously popular at college.
Well, I'll tell you what. The biggest thing that I learned about it was that loneliness is a choice, and it was a choice that I no longer was going to opt for. I was going to opt to make myself uncomfortable, and it's amazing how when you challenge yourself to go first, you actually find out the capability to which you can be loved, seen, valued, heard, and so much more. So it was a transformative experience in my life.
That is so cool. Also, that's amazing. So what were these like 2 hour long meals? Were they like proper dinners?
They were. Yes, all of those things. It started by just asking people who were in my classes. I would just say, hey, like, I love your sweater and clearly you're really into fashion. I know we actually don't really know each other. Do you want to grab lunch? Like, it was so awkward. But once you keep repeating it, it only becomes awkward if you make it awkward, right? Like, I'm sure you're experiencing the same thing, going up to strangers and saying, hey, what's your dream? And they're like, I'm sorry, what? Who are you?
Oh yeah, I definitely am past the awkward point now. I don't get awkward ever now, I don't think.
Yes. So you're on this mission to record and film all these dreams. How do you determine who you want to film and record a dream of?
Well, look, the mission, as you said in the intro, is everyone and anyone. I've done everyone from every walk of life you can imagine, from toddlers to 100-year-olds to satanic priests to Muslim leaders to whoever it is, I've done them.
Yeah.
And I think for the first maybe like 5 or 6 years, it was really just bring my camera everywhere.
Mm,
Anytime I met anyone, I would film their dream. And I did
mm.
every single day for 1,819 days in a row. So it was anyone, like, and I think people started dodging me because they knew I always had my camera on me. Uh, but now I feel like I'm in a place where I'm trying to capture a more wide range of people. So I'm
Yeah.
more like specific now and kind of chasing certain people. But again, I'm so open to anyone. So if I just meet someone and we get on, I'll always follow up by filming their dream. Or
Yeah.
10,000's a big number, like
A
it's,
huge
and
number. Yeah.
it's a lot of people. So I really am like, I love it when people reach out to me, asking to film their dream. But as you said, with some of the more well-known people I've filmed, that's kind of a passion of mine, is chasing
Mhm.
big names. I
Yeah.
really do love the chase of how big can I get, kind of thing.
Yeah, and I know that your heart isn't just to get it for clout, but it's really
No,
to unlock what we don't get to see normally
yeah,
from celebrities, because we think, oh, their dream was to become a celebrity. Well, the dreams don't stop. And I love how in your conversation with Ashton Kutcher, he said your dreams should keep changing and keep
yeah,
evolving, and how he was so thankful for the dreams that didn't actually happen for him. So
oh yeah,
you want to help the world dream again. What do you
yes.
think is missing for most of us in our dreams?
Ooh. What is missing? Um, I think a lot of people are afraid to dream. I don't
Mm,
know, like, if that's a society thing or whatever. It's very different in America, actually. I think
mm,
Americans seem to be way bolder with sharing their dreams and pursuing their dreams. In New Zealand, it's very different.
yeah.
But I think people are afraid, scared of rejection, being laughed at.
Mm,
And honestly, like, the thing I've learned is every single person has a dream, and every single person lights up when they share their dream. It's like a portal into people's souls, and it's just magic. But people are really scared to pursue their dreams, and that
mm,
breaks my heart.
yeah.
And I don't even know if that answers the question. But what's missing? I guess courage. You need courage to dream. It's
Yeah.
scary. It's not the norm. Uh,
Yeah. That's
gosh,
great.
I don't know if that answers it at all. But
No, I think that answers the question. You know, what's so interesting is I think that you have people who are like, well, I'm not a dreamer, I'm a realist, right?
yes,
And usually they're saying that in response to, I'm not going to have a dream because I know it can't happen. And so I almost wonder what would happen if, in tandem, after asking someone what their dream is, asking what's one thing that you can do today to move towards
yeah.
making that dream happen, because it's one thing to dream, it's another thing to believe that you're worth
Oh, yeah.
achieving and pursuing that dream, right? So what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, absolutely. And I think step one really is figuring out what is your dream. Because
Mm,
without the vision or the dream goal, it's
yeah,
hard to take the first step. You have no idea where you're
totally.
going? So,
Yeah.
and I think the beauty that I've kind of discovered with this mission I'm on is when people share their dream and publicly, I kind of release it to the public, it
Mm-hmm.
keeps people accountable. And I think it kind of
Mm,
does kick people into a bit of a gear. And there's been so many cases of people following up years later, being like, I'm now on the journey to achieving my dream
oh
because
my
you
gosh.
asked that question 4 years ago. Um, and those messages mean the world to me because I'll never know unless they reach out to me because there's so many people.
Yeah.
Um, but oh, yeah, I think in terms of a starting point, baby steps. Like if your
Mm-hmm.
dream is to start a business, just what's the name of the business? That's today's goal. Figure out the name. Tomorrow, buy
Absolutely.
the website domain tomorrow. Then the day after that, just start by creating a template or whatever it is. Just start small. You don't have to
Yeah.
build the business in 2 weeks. And I mean, this is me talking to myself too. I'm a huge dreamer, so I get excited. I go, oh, let's do everything right now.
Yes. Yes.
But
I relate.
really, it is small goals. I don't know if you've read Atomic Habits by James
Oh
Clear,
yeah.
but
Yes.
it's just small habits. Like genuinely,
Right.
that book would like influence my life dramatically. I don't know if you have the same story with that book, but
I do. I do. I think about that book every day. It's that book that haunts
yeah.
you
Oh
because
yeah.
you have a day where you slide into a bad habit. You're like, dang it,
Oh
what
my
would James say about
goodness.
this?
I know, like I love the whole gym example he uses where if you want to
Hmm.
start going to the gym, day one, get up, put on your gym shoes, and take them off and go back to bed. Then
Yes.
tomorrow, put on your shoes, walk outside, then walk
Right.
straight back in, and just build up this until
Yeah.
yeah,
I
it's
love that.
same with dreams. Just start
So,
small.
yeah. So I love the piece that you said about accountability because I actually
Mm.
think there's another layer underneath that based on what I've watched on your Instagram as well. And that's that when the camera gets put in front of you and someone asks you what your dream is, every selfish ambition falls to the wayside.
Yeah.
Because it seems that every single dream that you have recorded is about somebody wanting to make an impact. Is
Mm.
that true, or what have you seen?
Yeah, that's so well observed. It's actually really interesting. So when I started this, maybe the first year, because no one really knew what this was, there was no real backlog or anything. It was this tiny
Yeah.
little thing that I was begging my friends and family to do. Everyone's dreams were pretty much like, I want to be rich, or I want to be famous, or I want to start a
Mm,
business, or people were very short and just kind of, as you said, maybe a little bit more about them or something. But
yeah.
as this mission's gone on, and I've been able to meet and film the dreams of some pretty awesome people, I think now people think about their answers a lot more and go like, what do
Mm,
I really want? And
hmm.
like the answers are so much longer now and so much deeper, so much richer now. And
Yes.
it's you're so right. It really feels like everyone is seeking happiness. Everyone
Mm,
is seeking purpose. Everyone wants to inspire and love. It honestly, as I do this, I kind of start to realize that most of the world is genuinely pursuing the same thing.
mm.
We just have different ways of saying it, but
Wow.
everyone is wanting the same thing deep down. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I think that's incredibly powerful and challenging. And I can imagine
Yeah.
that every single time you're on like a high after you record a dream, you're just more motivated to do it. That'd be incredible.
Oh, it's inspired me so much doing this project. It genuinely is my passion. Like,
Yeah,
there's no way I'd commit myself to 50 years of doing one thing if I didn't love it. It's
totally.
if I didn't have a camera, like when I'm at a party or whatever, I'm still asking people what their dreams are,
Mm,
with or
I
without the
love that.
camera. It's like my favorite point of discussion.
Oh, that's so cool. So, what is something else that's been a really powerful revelation that you've gotten after capturing over 2,500 dreams now?
Hmm. Ooh. I think, you know what it could be? I think we create ideas around certain people and
Mm,
like we kind of build up stuff in our mind. Like, for instance, a month ago, I filmed a satanic priest in LA.
okay.
I filmed the dream of a satanic priest. And obviously, when you hear that, you instantly think of something and go quite dramatic, as I
Mm,
kind of did going into that meeting.
got
And
it.
then I realized that his dream was all about community and loving people and helping
Hmm.
people. And you're like, oh my gosh, I totally built up this thing in my mind.
Wow.
And I've really, the revelation is humans, we're all the same. And I almost feel like dreams unite us because we all dream, no matter who you are.
Yes.
I could ask a toddler and they'd probably think of something. I could ask someone, like in the middle of nowhere, I could ask them what their dream is and they could answer
Right.
it. Like humans dream. And I think it's part of our DNA. And I don't even know, but it's just magic. I genuinely believe dreaming is like magic.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that. And you probably know who Bob Goff is, and
Oh
he's
yeah.
the big dreamer.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
He's inspired me so much, but I think that is such a profound revelation, is that we all have that in common, and in a world where we are looking to, not necessarily us, but media, everything's trying to cause division,
Yeah.
being able to take a step back and say, wait a second, we may not think the same way, but
Yeah.
we both have
Totally.
the ability to dream and pursue something that is
Absolutely.
life giving and that's powerful and extends beyond ourselves. And that's just
Yeah.
how incredibly humanizing is that?
Oh my gosh, it nailed it on the head. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all the same. It's
Yeah.
honestly, it's given me such empathy, this project.
Mm.
Like, not saying I wasn't empathetic before, but it's really just opened my mind to we're all human, you know? Just because someone might have a role or a position or believe in something that I don't agree with, we're all
Yes.
human and everyone
Yes.
deserves the right to dream. Everyone
Mm.
is allowed to dream. And I, like there will be, like there are bad people out there, but I genuinely believe that deep down, everyone's got a heart. Everyone
Mm.
is capable of love. And yeah, and I really hope as I continue on this journey and as, recently I've been able to meet more controversial people, uh, and that will only expand as this goes on and on as I
Hmm.
travel more. I just want to, if I could just show everyone that we're all the same. Everyone,
Yeah.
every dream should be heard, you know?
Yes. Yes, I I agree 100%, and that's a beautiful way to articulate that. Going back to that video that you filmed with the Satanist, I have to be honest and tell you that
Mm,
I was one of those people who came in with a
yeah.
preconceived notion,
Oh, yeah.
stereotype, and genuinely I was in tears by the end of that
Were you?
60 to 90
Oh,
second
wow.
video, because I was like, wow, how wrong I was to just
Yeah.
almost like
Yeah.
dismiss somebody because I couldn't even understand how
Yeah.
someone's worldview was that. And it was almost like I felt captive to that. They are not like me.
Yeah.
And I,
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you for recording and posting that, because you continue to do really challenging recordings that do bring us closer together instead of further apart, and it does show that beautiful humanity. So that was
Oh,
a
thank
profound
you.
one for
Oh,
me.
thank you
Yes.
so much for saying that. That means a lot. It was honestly, there were a lot of people that told me not to go and film his
Mm.
dream. Like even when I
Wow.
filmed it and I showed a number of people, yeah, I'm a Christian, so I was praying over it, I was processing it with people. It was
Hmm.
50-50. Half
Wow.
the people I talked to were like, do not post this. This is something you should absolutely not post. And
Wow.
I don't know, I just, at the end of the day, I was like, my mission is everyone. And I have to stand behind that, even if I don't agree with someone. And honestly,
Yeah.
me and my wife spent half an hour with him, and it was amazing.
Mm.
It,
Wow.
it was genuinely a special encounter that I never thought I
Mm.
would ever have in my lifetime. And
Yeah.
it was amazing. He was genuinely a great guy. Yes, he believes in stuff I don't believe in, but he was a
Sure.
he was he was a great guy.
Yeah.
I said, when you're in
Yeah.
New Zealand next, let's go get a coffee. Like, it was one of those things where I'd try to stay in touch with the dude.
I love that. So as we're talking about dreams, and everyone from every walk of life having a
Mm.
dream, what if someone's listening to this right now and they actually don't feel that they're worthy of having any big dreams? What would you say to them?
Ooh, okay. I am a huge advocate about the fact that every single one of us has X factor. We're all
Mm.
geniuses.
Mm.
We all have, it's so easy to look at certain people and go, yeah, but they were born into they're lucky. Not everyone has that
Right.
thing. I really believe that every single person has that thing. And
Mm.
we've all been given gifts. We all are ridiculously talented and special. And I just want everyone to know that they are special, that no matter what their dream is, they can pursue it and they can achieve it. Now, I think there's an important factor around it's easy when you're younger to have a
Mm.
dream that is inspired by your heroes. or the people
Mm,
around you. Maybe it's what your parents said you're good at, or your friends are like, bro, you should do this. But I think it's so important to go, no, what is my dream?
mm,
Not what is my parents' dream for my life? What
right.
is my personal dream? That little
Beautiful.
voice inside. Once you discover that, dedicate your life to pursuing it.
Yeah.
But it's, yeah, I
I
don't know.
think that's awesome. So then follow up to that, how can someone start to dream again? If they feel challenged by you saying that they have an X factor,
Mm.
what would you say to them in order for them to start dreaming and unlocking their imagination and their hopes in a different way?
Yeah, well, I think, you know what it is? I think it's becoming a kid again,
Mm,
getting a blank sheet of paper and some crayons and just
yes.
dream up what your life could be. There is no right or wrong answer. Like, your dreams should scare you. They should be that
Mm,
big, you know? Like, create this vision for your life and protect that vision at all costs and pursue it one small step at a time. You know how to eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
mm,
Um, I think you just got to tap into that inner kid again, and just get
yes.
excited about the future. It's so easy to let the reality of life just zap all of that out of you.
Hmm.
But you owe it to yourself, if you need to wake up an hour earlier and just have an hour of pure inspiration where you watch YouTube clips that inspire you, or you go and read that book that you loved at 16 but you haven't picked up
Yeah,
in 20 years. I kind of, for me, it's going back to the things I loved as a kid.
I
Like,
love it.
I was obsessed with watching the making of movies when I was a kid. Because I'm a filmmaker, so watching the behind the
Okay.
scenes was almost funner than watching the movie. And whenever I just feel flat, I go
Mm,
straight back to watching like the making of Lord of the Rings or the making of
love
Harry
it.
Potter, and instantly I feel like a kid again. And then that starts to, then I feel like I've got the zest back, and then it's just a flow effect from there. Yeah.
That's beautiful. So two things on that. First off, I am obsessed with Disney World. Like I have been
Okay.
over 50 times in my life. And people are like, "You're a Disney adult. What's wrong with you?" I'll tell you why. And it's crazy and some people just won't even be able to comprehend it. But I believe that Disney is a piece of heaven on earth. Let me explain. If there is a place that was created in order for people to bring families together and unlock imagination and creativity, because if we are created in order to create, then I can't think of a better springboard for that childlike imagination to
Yeah,
come alive. So it's literally my favorite place on earth to go to for that very reason.
that
So
is
that's the first one.
so rad. Wait, Disney World or Disneyland? I
World in Florida.
Florida. That's okay. That's the best one, eh?
I agree. I
Has it got
agree.
That's where Hogwarts is.
Well, that's
Or
universal.
is that
That's
Universal?
that's the enemy
Oh,
territory,
oh my,
Fraser.
wow. I am so not up to date.
It's okay. You got to spend more time in America. You'll be able to see it all that way.
I was there 4 weeks ago, and me and my wife were going to go to Disneyland, but we
Oh my gosh.
decided not to go on the day because we went and filmed the Satanic Priest stream instead. So I don't know if we made the right decision or not, based on what you've said, maybe. But
Well, you'll have another chance, I'm sure.
oh, we will. Yeah.
I love that. So the second thing is you said write down your dreams. And I started
Yeah.
freaking out when you said this because this is a wild story. So in college,
Hmm.
um, for my senior communications capstone, I needed to write a movie script
Awesome.
for this fictional movie, of course. And I created a movie script based on my brother's aspiration to be a stunt performer. But I actually
Oh,
changed it so that the character was a girl. There were certain like specs that the movie script needed to have in it. So it
yeah.
was based on my brother having this dream, but I ended up taking that idea and saying, well, what if I had that dream? So I wrote this 30-page script, ended up loving this movie idea. Nothing came of it. But here's the crazy thing. 2 years later, this is a half-hour story, but I'll cut to the chase.
No, do it.
I become a professional stunt performer. And I swear it was because I wrote it down and created this story about doing so. So I 100% agree with
Oh
writing down
my
your dreams,
goodness.
no matter how outlandish they are.
That is so badass.
So I completely agree with the power of writing down your dreams. And also, I just gave everybody listening the craziest, almost stupidest story of writing down your dreams. Like, most people would have been embarrassed. Like, why are you writing down that you want to be a stunt woman, even for a movie script? And then look what happened, you know? So I think there's so much power in that.
That is so cool. I thought the ending of that story was going to be, and that film became The Fall Guy. Have you seen that?
That would be amazing. Oh, I loved that movie.
Because
Yes, it
that's
was
all about
such a
stuff.
perfect
Yeah.
tribute. It was, yeah.
I was like, oh no, that's what she's gonna say at the end. It's gonna be wild.
That would be equally amazing. So, we're talking about huge dreams, and I guess my question for you then is, does the size and scale of your dream matter, do you think? Because you said it should scare you, but
Mm,
flesh that out a little bit.
yeah. Look, when I was younger, I definitely was in the place of thinking that everyone had to dream big in the
Mm,
sense of
mm,
changing the world or building empires or becoming billionaires or global superstars. Like, I kind of believed that every dream had to be that. And I couldn't understand if
mm,
someone's dream was just to be a great father or to just,
mm,
live a nice, simple life. I couldn't understand that. That was younger me. I've
mm,
I've definitely grown a lot in doing 10,000 dreams, and I've come to realize that every single dream is just as important as,
mm.
like every dream is important. Every
Yeah.
dream is special. If your dream is just to raise incredible kids, that's almost more powerful than saying I want to be president one day, you know? And
Yes.
I, so I think if you had asked 19-year-old me, I would have gone, just pick that crazy dream, pursue that impossible goal. Whereas
Yeah.
now it's like, no, just make sure that that dream is yours. It's personal to
Mm,
you. It gets you
mm.
excited. If it doesn't get you excited, it's probably not either it's not your dream or it's just not big enough. And when I say big, I don't mean you have to become a celebrity or whatever. I just
Yeah.
like I don't know, like if your dream is to be a good dad, why didn't you try to become the greatest dad in the world? But it's more that
Sure.
personal thing of just how you conduct yourself. I filmed the dream of an astronaut called Chris Hadfield in
Mm,
2019, and he talked about having a moonshot dream. So when he was younger, his moonshot dream, which is like his dreams and then moonshot dream, it's like
yes.
it's almost
Yes.
impossible. His moonshot dream was to walk on the moon. And he
Wow.
knew that would probably never happen. But
Mm,
because he set the bar so high, it kind of forced him to conduct his life in a certain way, to study, to eat certain ways, to just live a certain way that led to him going to space. And he became the first astronaut to ever go to space. Now, he's never walked on the
wow.
moon, but he is an astronaut because he set the bar so high. And he said everyone needs a moonshot dream that is just so impossible. But
Mm,
it means you wake up every morning going, well, if I'm going to walk on the moon one day, what do I need to do today? What do I need to read? Who do I need to connect with? What should I
yes.
be watching? And it, yeah, and I think, but again, that moonshot dream could be to be the world's greatest dad, or whatever it is.
Right.
Maybe it's to to do an Ironman or something. Um,
Sure.
uh, but I absolutely, big or small, every dream is important. And dreams evolve. As Ashton said, dreams will
Yes.
constantly evolve. My dreams
Yes.
today are very different to my dreams 10 years ago. And I'm
Hmm.
stoked about it. I'm stoked about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
That's beautiful because it brings up that concept of filling you with hope,
Mm,
right? Is you have this dream and you're like, okay, but this is my dream. Like, I'm going to be excited about the future and the
yeah.
possibilities that lie within that. And it feels like we're in a current climate where there's a lot of hopelessness
Yeah.
surrounding us, right? We hear almost all negative news, media, everything is do or die, life and death, fear inducing, negative. That's why they have to create things like good news movements. That's why you
Yeah.
have to create things like 10,000 dreams, right? To
Mm.
counteract all of that's happening. And I'm just wondering if you could speak to someone who is the type of friend that you and I are, where we want people to dream again. What kind of ideas do you have for someone who's
Mm.
trying to help a friend that's currently hopeless learn to dream and support those dreams?
Yeah. Oh man, that's a good question. Look, I think there is a reality with dreaming. I've been very lucky. I grew up with parents that basically forced me to dream. Like if I had told my
Mm,
parents I was going to be an accountant or something, I think they would have told me off. Like my parents were like, "You're chasing your dreams."
yes.
And not everyone has that. And I'm very
Hmm.
aware of that now, that it is an absolute privilege to
Mm,
be born into a home that encourages you to dream, because that's not the norm around the
right.
world at all.
Yes.
People have to do things to survive.
Hmm.
A lot of people probably feel like they just can't dream. They don't have time or the finances or whatever it is to dream.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was meeting with a mate who maybe was trapped, maybe they had a mortgage or they had a job that they hated, but they just couldn't afford to quit. And they were just, you could just tell that their soul was just, fading away.
Yeah.
I, I guess it would start with, what is your dream? Like, what, what do you want? Like, where do you see your life? Like,
Mm,
imagine you had infinite money. Like, just imagine you never had to work for money ever again.
for
What would
sure.
you do?
Yeah.
How would you fill your time? And most people would go, oh, I'd go sit on a beach and just travel the world. And I'm like, yeah, you do that for a year and then you'll get bored. How do you then
You're right. Right.
spend, how do you spend like the next 60 years of your life if you
For
didn't need
sure.
money? And I think then you break it down. And then
Mm,
maybe it's, what was your dream as a kid? Maybe they wanted to be a police officer. And then
mm,
they kind of just forgot about that and pursued other things. I think tapping into that inner child. What is deep down, what is the thing you genuinely love that you
yes.
would do for free? Like, I don't get paid to do 10,000 dreams, but I do
Mm,
it because I
mhm.
love it. And
Yes.
then you just create a plan from there. Start
Yeah.
small, you know? Okay, well, if your dream is to be a cop, but you're in a job right now that you're kind of trapped in, well, look into the process of applying for police training college and just seeing how you can do that. And then maybe you quit and do a part-time job in the meantime to fund your way through police training. I think sacrifice is a thing. And I think a lot of people are probably scared of the reality of pursuing a dream, the sacrifice that will come, the fact that they'll probably need to wake up 2 hours earlier every morning
Mm,
to
mhm.
get a head start on stuff, or they'll have to sacrifice weekends or holidays or a
Right.
lifestyle. And then that's the thing is, as you get older, you kind of get more adjusted to a certain lifestyle, you know? Or your
Yep.
friend group or your friends around you are all living a certain way and you kind of want to fit in. And I
Mhm.
think it's scary to feel like you're taking 5 steps back, you know? But uh, that's, but you might need to, you know? And it might
Yeah.
be a sacrifice for the next 5 years, but then you're going to live the rest of your life jumping out of bed in the morning because you were bold enough to pursue your dreams, because it takes courage to pursue a dream. That's why most
Mm.
people don't live their dreams, because it's scary as heck, you know?
Yep.
And
Yes.
I've only done film since I graduated from film school at 19.
Mm,
I'm 30 now, so for the last 11 years I've done nothing but film. And there have
mm.
been so many times where I've been days away from bankruptcy or just losing everything, or
Wow.
but if you just don't quit. The ones that achieve their dreams and actually live that life are the ones that just don't quit, you know?
Yes.
Um, yeah.
I love that. That's so powerful. And I'm picking up on two or three concepts
Yeah.
that you're remove the obstacles in your mind.
Mm.
What if there were no obstacles? Then what?
Mm.
Then you insert those obstacles back in and those become the steps and the hurdles
Yeah.
that you need to overcome in the process.
Yeah.
And you also did something recently on your Instagram page, which I loved, because I think this is the beauty of being a friend who wants to support their friend's dreams. You asked the question, what's your biggest, craziest dream?
Yeah.
And I'll see if I can make connections to make
Yeah.
that happen. People rarely realize the incredible power and generosity of being a connector for others is. I mean, there are few things as life-giving as making a connection for somebody that ends up creating a breakthrough in
Yeah.
their life.
Oh
And
yeah.
you're clearly really passionate about that too. And along with that, we personally have to confront the reality when we start to have a dream or a goal. We have to ask ourselves this question: what if nobody else is coming to help
Mm.
me? What do I need to do on my
Yeah.
own in order to make it happen? And I
Oh
think
yeah.
that's the beauty, because if you realize at the end of the day, nobody might be able to help me with this dream, but you pursue it, guess who you're going to get the attention of? People who see what you're doing and want to
Yeah.
support that and want to contribute and want to connect. It always seems to happen.
Oh
Point
my
or
gosh. Yeah.
exhibit A, your project to film 10,000 dreams, right?
Oh, dude, you're preaching now. No one cared for like 7 years. Like, honestly, it was the longest amount of time that people were like, okay, I don't get what you're doing, but okay, sure. Like, years and years and years and years of
Hmm.
just no engagement, not doors not opening, me just
Wow.
kind of believing I had this thing in my hands that could create change. But I kind of had to convince everyone around me that this was a thing. But you're so right. You just have to do it. Like, if I had gone to people saying, hey, I've got this idea of filming a dream every day for 10,000 days, could you fund it? They'll be
Yep.
like, just do it. Go and do it and prove to us that this is even
Exactly.
worth investing in. You know, if you want to
Yes.
write a book, most people go, well, I'll try to get a book deal. Then I'll write the book. It's like, well, how are you going to get the book deal unless you've actually written the book? Like, right, you don't need money to write a book. You just need
Yes.
to put aside time and write a book. And you're so right. Like, people want to get behind and support people who are doers, who are doing
Hmm.
it. And it's
Yes.
so easy to just not do, waiting for
Hmm.
someone to hand it to you. And I've fallen for that. You know,
Same.
I've I've given too many people in my life too much power, going, oh,
Mm.
well, once they make that connection for me, then I can make this doco or whatever. And then you're waiting 6 months, then you're waiting a year, and you're like, wait, I've never heard back from them. And then you realize they didn't, no one else is waking up every morning going, how am I going to make Fraser's dreams come true today?
Right.
You're the only
Right.
one that's going to wake up every morning going, what is my dream and how am I going to make it happen? Now, you need people, like, you need help. I have been so blessed with connections and people who have vouched for me and who have opened doors for me. But
Hmm.
all those connections and doors only came by every day filming a dream,
Mm.
even when 5 people were watching and posting it. And then the next day, film a dream, post it. Next day, film a dream, post it. And
Yes.
slowly I got, like when I started this, I thought it'd be viral after 2 weeks. And I was like, how the hell's this not viral yet? I've done this for like 2 weeks. This is crazy impressive. And now I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, the quality of the dreams. Like, I had no idea what this was. I'm grateful it didn't go viral. That would have been embarrassing if it had gone viral back then. Um,
Yes.
and me pitching to people to film their dreams, saying, I'm doing this thing, I'm filming 10,000 people saying their dream. And they're like, wow, that's amazing. How many dreams have you filmed? 14. And they're like, ah, okay, man. Sure, bro. Like,
Wow.
there's no way you're gonna,
Yeah.
like, no one thought I would get past a month. Like,
Mm.
genuinely, even
Except
people.
you.
I was the only one, even people in my family and close friends were like,
Wow.
yeah, definitely not gonna do this longer than a month or two. But I found something that for some reason I just deeply believed in. You
Mm,
have to, if you don't believe it, no one else will. It starts that you have to be the biggest advocate. You have to
mm.
sell this thing. You have to, you got to preach. You got to scream your dreams from the rooftops before anyone's going to listen, you know?
Yes. I love it. I love it. Obviously, I'm like cheesing so hard because yes, yes, 1,000 times over.
Mm,
So we're coming to the end of
hmm
this episode. Is there any final kind of encouragement or something around the topic of dreams that we didn't get to talk about yet that you want to land the plane on?
Hmm. Well, I feel like we've we've talked about so much, but I
Okay.
think people are scared to ask for help. I don't know if I
Mm,
could just reach out to someone, send that crazy
mm.
email, ask for that favor, just ask for help. Do not be embarrassed. I have sent more than 35,000 cold emails since I started 10,000 Dreams. I have been
Wow.
rejected by thousands of people, like thousands and thousands. And you just get to a point where it doesn't hurt anymore. And just because someone says no does not mean that what you're doing is not worth, it's not of value, it's not worth pursuing. It's, you ask that question, send that email. Honestly, it's so liberating when you just reach out to someone. I think you build it up in your head that they're going to reject you or judge you or think
Hmm.
differently of you. They don't. People love helping people. I think every human deep down wants to help someone.
Yes.
Just, but if you
Beautifully
don't,
said.
but if you don't ask, no one's going to know you needed that help. No one knows you needed that introduction or whatever it is.
Exactly.
Be bold and be brave. I think with that.
Exactly. And on top of that, you have to be willing to let go of the
Mm,
assumption that you have that you're going to be rejected and
yes.
the audacity that we so often have to make a decision for somebody else before they even knew they had a choice to make.
Oh my gosh, yeah. We uh, exactly. That person might have absolutely loved the idea of funding and investing in your business, but you
Yes.
assumed that they were too busy to even.
Mhm.
So you go, oh, they're not gonna do it. So I won't even ask them for help. They
Right.
might be upset when they find out 10 years later that you were too, you know? Yeah, you're so
Exactly.
right. Yeah. No, I honestly, it's so simple. Just be bold, be brave. Like I think fear is all in our head. Like I
Mm.
skydived a month ago, and it was probably
Okay.
the thing I was most scared to do in my life. The
Wow.
second I did it, I was like, this is probably one of the coolest things I've ever done. And what? I was scared to do this? This was what? And now because the thing that was the most scary, I realized
Mm.
wasn't scary at all. It's almost given me this huge armor of courage now to go, well, what else am I denying myself of out of this thing I've built in my head? Just
Yes.
just do a Nike and just do it.
There you go. That I couldn't have said it better myself. Well, Fraser, this has been an absolute privilege. Thank you for
Thank you, Zoe.
encouraging us, inspiring us, and giving us the tools we need to dream bigger and dream once again. Thanks so much for being on the Accidentally Intentional podcast.
Thank you, Zoe.